Hi, it's Mrs. B.
And Auntie.
Yeah, I have a guest today. This is day 53, I think.
Wow.
It's 53 of my new lifestyle journey on Carnivore. And everything's been going good, like always. And I'm sticking on it. I've not messed up any. I've had a few, not temptations, but desires for other things, just for different flavors. But you know what? If I go looking for something, nothing sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's real easy to just say, "Oh, I guess I really don't want anything." So uh, that's being good for me. I was telling Auntie here that I was wanting something really bad one night, and my husband keeps a jar of peanut M&Ms
Oh no.
beside his chair as recliner.
I didn't know they were peanut M&Ms.
Yes.
I thought you just said M&Ms, and I'm like, oh, okay.
And
Oh no.
so I thought, I'm just going to go get me some M&Ms. And I went in there and I opened the little jar and I got a little handful. And I thought, no, I'll just get two. And I dropped the others. And then I thought, you know what? I really don't want these. And I dropped the other two and closed it
So
and
proud
went
of
on.
you.
And I never felt like, I never felt deprived afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I made this decision that, I just don't really want it.
You know what occurred to me the other day is, people that find out that they have diabetes, they have to make a conscious decision to not eat sugar or things that will turn into sugar in their body, right?
Yes.
And a lot of them do. They just live with it. They don't cheat all the time. That way, they don't get sick.
Because they know
They know they
sick.
cannot. Yeah. And like your mother had the hypoglycemia. She had the same reaction, only it was the other.
Yeah, and she stayed away from
She knew not
sweets.
to.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I have it too. And I always found it weird that some things sweet affected me that way.
And others
And
didn't.
others, I could drink Coca-Cola all day long.
Huh.
It
You think
didn't
it was
affect
like
me.
the way it digested in
Maybe, but I could have other things and
it flattened you?
just, I mean, you feel like you're dying, you're gonna die, and
Mm-hmm.
it's so funny. People will say, "Here, have something sweet." And I'm like, "No, please not." I would eat protein, and I would be fine.
Be better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I could eat like a teaspoon of peanut butter, and that has sugar in it. But I guess there's enough peanuts
Enough
that
protein in it.
that it changed it. Or I could eat beef jerky,
Mm-hmm.
and I would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting. But I want to get into some other things today. That's why I brought Auntie. She happened to be here today. We've been recording a lot of reaction videos and uh, uh,
Miss coffee time.
coffee time with
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. B and Auntie.
Yes.
So check those out. If you look, we have the same clothes on.
Yes.
Several videos we have done, and they will be posted throughout the next week or so. Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, we are here, and I have her, and I know that I started the Carnivore Challenge first, mm-hmm. and she watched me, and you've probably heard her say what she's done if you've gone to her little health and Auntie's health journey, and I've been putting links to it in the description of my videos. So I think you've probably heard the long story.
Yeah.
I want to get into some more just more pointed questions and get some answers from her. But I'm going to let her tell you real quickly why she decided to do this and what drove her to do this. Carnivore. Oh, I did hear something kind of neat. I thought it was funny. Somebody said that they came out to their family as carnivore. Well, the guy I was listening to was a lifelong vegan and raised his kids that way.
That'll be tough.
Then he separated from his wife and
Mhm.
moved somewhere else, and they came to visit and hadn't known, and he had to come out to his children uh, to that he was
My
carnivore.
name is Elaine and I eat meat.
Okay, back to the subject. So kind of give us a brief
All right.
description of
Okay.
what was going on,
Hmm.
why you decided to do this.
Well, 20 years of being in pain from one range to another. I was okay for like 18 of those years. I could kind of get through the days and everything, but the last 2 years, I was flat on my back a lot. Like sleeping a lot from pain pills and stuff. And I just was sick of missing my life. And so when I saw you start Carnivore and you were saying, I feel good, and I knew that you had some issues where you were feeling pretty tough. And every time you'd say you felt good, I thought, good for her, but I'm so jealous. I want to feel good too. Anyway, and I thought, the carnivore, that sounds so caveman. And I thought, I don't think I can do it, but then day after day she'd say that. Is more than 2 weeks. I think it was 15 to 17 days. And I finally thought, doggone it, I want to feel good. I'm going to try it. And if I can't be a caveman, then I just will just hurt forever. So I started it, and I don't think I was even a week in before I started feeling better.
And how are you feeling today?
Wonderful.
You've been on it how long?
33 days,
I'm
something
not.
like that.
You should have told me when you reached your 30 days.
I was busy. Yay! But your example got me going, and I thought, well, she's not turning into a dinosaur, so maybe I can do it. And she's not growling. People really treat you a little bit funny when you say carnivore. And this one doctor online, you probably heard him, but he said if you go see your doctor and they notice you've lost weight and stuff, if you go for another issue, you could say Mediterranean diet,
Yep, that'll work.
and they accept that.
That's good. I'm gonna have to. Sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, that's about my story. I have a little tiny bit of itching left in my hair and a little tweak in my back once in a while, but otherwise I feel like I did. Terry doesn't remember me feeling this good in our life together. Because when I was in college, a, a girl took my drink while I was in the bathroom and drank out of it. There's a can of Pepsi, and she drank out of it. And then I picked it up and drank out of it again. And she says, "Oh, I probably shouldn't have drank after you. You shouldn't drink after me out of your drink because I have mono." And from that point on, I struggled with just regressing further and further.
Okay. What other ailments or problems did you have? You had mono uh, years ago,
Mm.
and what else have you had,
Um,
especially recently?
Fibromyalgia was diagnosed at one point, but they don't really do much for you for that. And I was taking a lot of B12 shots, and Terry was giving them to me. That was like not fun because I get mad at him if he stuck me wrong.
And what else?
And there really wasn't anything they
Well,
could do.
right. And what other problems you have? Eczema.
Yeah, eczema really bad all over down my hand like this for a while, and down my legs, on my elbow, and in my hair.
Okay, and you're having trouble walking.
Yeah, I was unsteady on my feet and stuff. I went to a diagnostic center, and the doctor, he pokes me in the belly, goes soft belly. Like, he's Chinese. He wasn't real, he's very
No,
direct.
no good. Not a good bedside
No.
manner.
and just different stuff. And my blood pressure always hovers in the low area. Like people would love to have my blood pressure, but it's not really. It wasn't high enough to have energy, really. So
So she went from being one of the busiest active people I know to nothing. I mean,
right.
basically nothing. We would talk. There's been a lot of lapses in our videos if you watch our channel,
Mm.
and there's a lot of time in between, and it's normally because of health issues.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
like 2 weeks sometimes. I
there,
doubt that
oh,
much.
there's
Or a
been a
month.
month
Yeah.
before we got back together, and then of
Mhm.
course we've had Christmas, Thanksgiving, and
Yeah.
Christmas, and she took a vacation. I'm getting ready to leave. Things like
Mhm.
that happen, but I've observed her go from this busy. I call her and her husband the ever what is it called?
Energizer.
Energizer bunny, because they
Yeah.
just were always working, always
Yeah.
doing something. And then she ended up not being able to do anything. I mean, really, she had to have her husband help her walk a lot
Yeah.
of times.
Yeah.
And
I stayed home. I didn't go to church. My husband did the grocery shopping and he did all the cooking.
and along with this came depression.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and I think she and I both have dealt with a type of depression throughout our lives. It's
Hmm.
not all of a sudden. This is
Yeah.
just, but there are things that trigger
Yeah.
the the worst episodes.
Hmm.
And I think you've been in a pretty low
Yeah.
depression before you got into the diet. And I
Yeah.
mean, before I got into this, we had talked about, or I was always telling her, I've got to lose weight. I need to do something. But gosh, I'm 65 at the time. I'm 65 years old, and
What am
who
I trying to
cares?
prove?
Why
Yeah.
do it? But I still wanted to,
Yeah.
but not her.
No.
She was done. She had
Yes.
tried all she's going to try.
Yeah.
She had no desire. You didn't care about
Mm-mm.
life.
I prayed
About
to
life.
die. I prayed to die.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some of the worst episodes, I thought I was going. I was kind of excited. I was going
Yes, you got to
goodbye.
realize we are both strong Christians, and dying is not
A
something
bad
we
thing.
fear. In fact, it's something we look forward to. We just don't want to leave our
And
family at this time. But she got to where she did.
there you go. Don't leave. You can't leave me. And I'd be like, oh shoot. You know.
But recently he told me, just day before yesterday, I think, or yesterday. No, it was yesterday. He told me I got my wife back.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
my wife back, which means he got his life back.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really been something. I decided, okay, if you're not going to kill me, Lord, I guess I'm going to try to get better. So I actually went to the diagnostic. They did find out I had a vitamin D deficiency.
Well, that's where I was going to go next. I was going to
Mm,
ask you, throughout the years, you have been to
lots of
lots of
doctors.
doctors.
Mm. And they do tests. If they do the regular gamut that they do with everybody, and nothing ever shows up, and they say, "Well, I don't know what to do with you." And so I quit going to the doctors. I hadn't been to a doctor. I had an ear infection, and 8 years ago, and I went to the doctor, and he gave me some pills and sent me home. He didn't irrigate the ear or anything. The nurse said, "Oh, this is going to be a mess. We're going to have a big job here." And he just had me a prescription. So we didn't have a big job.
Well, I mean, through the years, I've heard these stories
Yeah.
about doctors they don't seem to care. They can't
Uh-huh.
find anything. They just send her home. They treat her like she's a
Yeah.
hypochondriac. You don't know what you're just an old woman.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us have been through that.
Mm-hmm.
But she wouldn't go to the doctor.
Um,
I would talk to her and tell her, because I go to the doctor, and I told
uh,
her she needs to go to the doctor. And
mhm.
she'd say, "Oh, yeah, I will."
Well, my blood pressure's perfect
As far as you know.
every time they take it. And I have a cuff and
Oh, okay.
everything, and
You
it's
take it
always
at home.
perfect. And Terry was just, he had my blood pressure.
but we couldn't get her to go to the doctor. Well, finally,
Yeah.
she has been in so much pain that she had to do something.
Yeah.
So she went to a doctor in her
Town.
primary care doctor in her little town that she lives in, and he even had tests run because I went up
Yeah,
and
a
sat with
sonogram.
her during a sonogram on her stomach.
Mhm.
And what did he tell you?
Well, he called me one day and he said, I didn't bring my chart with me when I made this phone call. He said, "Why did I send you to get a sonogram?" I thought, "You're..." Anyway, so I said, "I think it had something to do with my liver. I don't know. I couldn't remember what it was." I said, "The only thing you told me from blood tests was there was some kind of abnormality in the liver." And he goes, "Oh yeah, it's a liver sonogram." I did not know when I was having the sonogram what the sonogram was.
Right. You didn't know.
The operator didn't say anything. I might have asked, but anyway. Anyway, so I didn't know it was for my liver. Well, then I went to see him, and he says, "Well, oh, by the way, you have..." What was
Sorry.
My husband had to tell me he'd be home in 50 minutes.
I thought you said 45. But
45 to 50.
anyway,
That was so specific.
I thought you said 15. I'm like, no,
Oh,
no,
no.
45. Anyway, the doctor finally said that you had what?
Oh, fatty liver.
And what did he tell you to do about this fatty liver?
I said, "What do you do with that?" And he goes, "Lose weight." And then he walked out of the room.
That was it. He didn't care about anything else, just that she had a fatty liver, go home and lose weight.
How and why and what is a fatty liver? Blah, blah, blah. I didn't know anything. So I started looking up fatty liver.
And it scared you.
It scared me to death because it says it can kill you. And if your liver is bad enough, you can have a fatty pancreas, and that will definitely kill you. And so anyway, he sent me to a diagnostic center. They took all kinds of blood tests. And the guy he sent me to is a rheumatologist, and he wasn't really interested a whole lot on the parts. I mean, he was wanting to see if I had arthritis and stuff. And I have a little bit in my hand.
Is this the one that put you on the vitamin D3?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
one or two, something.
D2.
Yeah.
He, but you told me that he specializes in fibromyalgia.
Yeah.
And what did he say about that?
Well, he said we had to rule out every single thing before we diagnose you with that because there's not a test for fibromyalgia.
Okay, and so you're on the vitamin D 50,000 unit international units a week until when?
Until June.
And then what?
And then I'm supposed to take over the counter.
Okay, so you started taking the vitamin D, and what happened from that?
Well,
just from the vitamin D.
I didn't feel a whole lot different. I just, I'm okay. But I mean,
Did you have a little bit more energy, but still hurt real bad?
Yeah, I was still in pain, and I could stay awake.
Now they took you off of the gabapentin. She was on gabapentin and 100 milligrams at night before she went to bed.
And I'd sleep all day the next day.
And then she'd sleep all day. 100 once a day. I take 600 3 times a day. That's a difference in her body and mine. That's to tell you that we're all different.
Yes.
We are all different. But so you were taking that, and the vitamin D helped a little, but didn't take the pain away.
No. Okay. But then I started emulating you.
Then you started on the carnivore. You're still taking your vitamin D, and then you're just eating meat and eggs and butter.
And after like the first week, I started feeling a lot better. I mean, gradually after that week, more and more the pain would go away.
And how are you today?
Really good. Really good. And I did hear from one of the doctors on YouTube, which I appreciate them because they deal with a lot of stuff. that if you go ahead and take the D3, like 10,000 milligrams a day, that will do a lot more to rebuild your D than even the 50,000 once a week.
The 50,000 is a D2,
And
but
it's,
the D3 is actually better.
yeah, and it said that, like that doctor said that the 50,000, by the time it gets through your system, you've only kept about 15,000 of it. So the D3, taking that much each day, will build up faster if you're on a very low D. Because I was almost an unreadable number.
So, so what's your opinion at this moment, this day and time? I
Mm-hmm.
know you've only been on there 33 days or 4 days,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you just said, which isn't a long time compared to so many of you out there
Yeah.
who may have been on this for years.
Mm-hmm.
But as two new people on this,
Mm-hmm.
we haven't even done 2 months yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm close. I'm real close to 2
Yeah.
months. But what's your overall opinion of this, and would you recommend it to other people?
I would recommend it, and I am thrilled with it, and it's easy. I don't have to do a lot of figuring. I don't have to add points. I don't have to add calories. All I have to do is, I like the intermittent fasting because that has helped the inflammation leave my body. By fasting that long, that helped that. And so I like that, eating one time a day and feeling full and everything. So that's what I
Yes,
really like.
she did follow me a lot. I started out from the what is it called, the American diet. What everybody eats, just no
Mm-hmm.
diet at all, just eat whatever I wanted. I'd given up kind of. I wanted to. I didn't do it because I just like, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
And so I hadn't been dieting at all, and or eating healthy, just enjoying it. I
Mm-hmm.
do love to eat. I'll admit, I love the flavor of food, and
Mm-hmm.
mine isn't so much sweets as it is the other carbohydrates and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But uh, I just I sometimes I say I did it for the health benefits, because I do have a uh, what's it called, the blood disorder. What's
Oh.
in general. In
Mm-hmm.
general, they are called autoimmune disease. That's what it
Yes.
is. I do
Yes.
have an autoimmune disease, and they talked about the carnivore helping people who have had or do have an autoimmune disease. So
Mm-hmm.
I remember starting it for that reason, but I also remember, oh, I know, the fasting was weight loss, because my son-in-law has a friend, a neighbor, that went started intermittent fasting. She'd fast 23 hours a day, eat in that one window, and she lost a lot of weight. She was bigger than me, and she lost a lot of weight. She's real small now, and so that
That spurred
piqued
you on.
my interest, and I thought, well, if she can do it,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I can. And then I started looking up stuff like that on YouTube, and then found Dr. Berg, not Berg, Dr. Berry, and started seeing all these intermittent fasting and the carnivore together, and all the success in weight loss and the benefits, especially the benefits with the carnivore for your lifestyle. So
Mm-hmm.
I went from the regular American diet into that, just jumped in,
That's how I
and
did it.
that's what I was going to say. I just jumped in from eating snacks, whatever, any time of day I wanted, and I just cut it off, which was amazing that I was able to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and started doing the intermittent fasting for 23 hours a day, eating in that one window. And she did the same thing because she's watching me, and that's what I did. How hard what all of that is to say, how hard was it for you to do the first few days of intermittent fasting?
Well, I was like desperate. I thought, okay, if this will get rid of pain, I'm going to white knuckle it. If it doesn't get rid of pain, I'm going to eat like a crazy person. And it started getting rid of pain, so
So,
I
how
got
many
it.
days did it take you to get to where you really weren't hungry between there? Because she does the 23 also,
Mm-hmm.
20, 23 and 1 and 23, however you want
Yeah,
to say it.
I was pretty good. I mean, when I first started, I was like really good. My stomach didn't really. Well, I had halved everything I ate for about a month before I started, and my stomach had shrunk enough to where it wasn't just hungry all the time. So that made it easier to not eat.
When I started, I remember following their everybody's recommendation
Mm-hmm.
that you eat till you're full
Mm-hmm.
and then
A
eat
little more.
more. And people were eating two steaks and butter and eggs and I mean
Mm-hmm.
and bacon all at the same time
Mm-hmm.
in that 1 hour window. And I could do it, but I knew she'd been cutting her food in half. So how did you do that with smaller meals, and how did it sustain you for that 23 hours afterwards?
Well, I made sure that I always had eggs and I always had bacon with a lot of fat on it. And I always made sure because he said the eggs were 1 to 1 on the fat
The
and
yolk,
protein.
the yolk is,
Yeah.
yes.
So I always made sure I had eggs and something about having that bacon and eggs together kind of ekes out throughout the day, the following day, the following hours. And then if I had room, I'd eat a hamburger or a steak.
Well, that's the difference in you and I once again. Of course, I am bigger and I could eat more, but she had already been shrinking her stomach for a
Yeah.
month and a half or 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause she started that in January, 1st of January, I
Yeah.
think. And I started my carnivore on the 2nd of February.
Mm-hmm.
So, 1 month. Then it was just 1 month.
Yeah.
No, I 2nd of March.
Okay. Oh
No,
no, it's in February sometime.
it had to be February 2nd.
Yeah.
Anyway, I could eat a lot, so I kind of felt bad. But um, I know when I started, I had also watched the steak and butter gal,
Mm-hmm.
Bella, and she's always talking about all the butter, eating butter with it. That the butter, which basically is the fat, will sustain you for
Mm-hmm.
that time. So I never got
Yeah.
hungry.
I fry the bacon in butter too.
I do too. Everything I cook
Everything with butter.
Everything I cook in butter
Yeah.
or bacon grease.
Yeah.
And
Or both.
yes, yes. So, um, so that's
I have been putting like a tab of butter in my coffee if I'm hungry of a morning, and that makes me where I don't want to eat.
okay. I
Cause
haven't done the butter,
and I thought, ugh,
but
I didn't think I could, but you don't taste it.
uh,
Honest to goodness, you
I
don't
have
taste
done
it.
it before. Do you use that little frother thing, or do
No,
you just
I just
dissolve it? See, I
you
did
just.
that back when I did keto long, long time ago, and I
Mhm.
was just never impressed with it. And I'm like,
I just never even taste it when it's in there. I mean, it takes the edge off of Terry's very tough coffee.
sure, I bet it was. He does have very strong
Whoa,
coffee.
strong. He gets the strongest blend. He
So,
even ground his own. And oh my goodness.
okay, so you don't get hungry. Do you get bored with your food, with
Not
with
really.
eating meat?
Now, when I get really hungry, I'll wait until 1 and I'll eat a cheese stick.
Which are you? We haven't ate today, so you're hungry.
Not too bad.
Not too
Not too
bad.
bad.
I'll give her a cheese stick here in a little bit. Um, That breaks your fast, but it's not a big break, evidently.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it does break you fast.
Yes, it does.
But I didn't even break my fast yesterday, and I was up one. And I
Well,
usually break my fast like
I
that.
think we fluctuate through the week, so
Yeah, I think
don't, I
so.
wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's been what I've decided is I'm going to treat myself as if have sugar diabetes or hypoglycemia, and I'm just going to decide those sweets and carbs are just out. If I want to be healthy, if I want a life, I don't have it.
right. I know that's kind of like me. I I look at sweets and I'm not that tempted. There
Mm-hmm.
are some sweets I really, really like, and
Mm-hmm.
I would, you know what, if I could have something right now, what would it be? I've been wanting peanut butter,
Oh yeah.
but I'm staying away from it. Um, I think that'll go away, but for the last couple of days, I've been wanting peanut
Kind of
butter.
just thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to eat it. That's just, what's in my head. And
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had any problem resisting those wants or desires,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't know if you call it a craving. It could be a
Mm-hmm.
craving. I don't know. But
Yeah, I just, it dawned on me, who knows when you might turn into a diabetic, and I don't want to have to take shots.
now, aren't you kind of excited and looking forward to the next time you go to that doctor
Yeah,
to
I
see
am.
his
I'm a little nervous
response?
about. I mean, I don't tell him I'm a carnivore, but I might tell him, you know, Mediterranean diet.
Right, but do you think they'll do more blood work on you? Well, they'll
They're
have to see if
supposed
there's a
to.
difference.
They're
And
supposed
of
to.
course, he'll put it all on with the vitamin D.
Yeah. And I did actually get about 10 minutes of sun yesterday. It was warm enough to go without a jacket on. And I sat on my deck and I was, kind of almost dozing off. And Terry had me get up and go to town with him. So.
Yeah. Well, that would be the time to sit out and read a book or something.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
They say 15 minutes a day will get you vitamin D directly into your system because it's not having to go through digestion and stuff.
that's what I haven't done. I need to get outside once in a while.
See, we could turn into brown beauties again.
Yep, a little bit every day it would really build and it wouldn't burn.
Mm-hmm. And they said to not put on sunscreen or you don't.
Yeah.
They said that the people in the countries, where they wear the head stuff and have long sleeves on it, all that they ever expose is their face and their hands. They cannot get enough vitamin D because they don't have enough
And
exposure.
I did read or hear that the majority of people in the world
Mm-hmm.
are vitamin D deficient
I heard
and
that
don't
too.
even know it.
Yeah.
Don't even know it.
I was surprised. I looked it up, and the list was almost everything that was wrong with me on vitamin D deficiency. And I was like, okay, we're going to take care of that.
So it could be the addition of the vitamin D, but we also know that this way of eating makes a huge difference. So what um, we'll be more. I'll try to be specific. Tell me about. Let's go with um, just the fibromyalgia. How have you been dealing with that since you've been on this? How's it been?
It's just been gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It is gone.
I love it.
Okay.
I was having like leg cramps and back cramps, and then the backs of my arms would cramp. Just anything you flex a little bit and it'd turn into a cramp.
And I know that there were times that you had to get out of bed and just go downstairs because it hurts. You hurt. Now I'm not talking about your eczema. I'm talking about your body aches, your hips. I know her hips and legs hurt. So how's that been?
Right. No pain.
And are you sleeping now?
Yes, I'm sleeping like a log. Oh, I quit snoring.
Oh wow, that's a benefit.
My husband says,
I don't think I have.
"You don't snore anymore," and I'm like, "Oh, thank goodness." Oh,
course, you've lost almost 40 pounds
Yes,
total.
it's right at 38.
Total. Now, she's lost
Mhm.
quite a bit on cutting her food in half, and
Yeah, and then
the
about
rest
13 or 14 after that. So,
she has lost. Do this. Okay, now then what about your eczema? Because let me
it's
tell you about her eczema. I have seen her leg, how bad it was. It was terrible. And
mm,
I also know her head.
mm,
It's on her scalp, all over her scalp. So
mm.
so tell us about that.
Well, I'm a slow learner. I I have been. I saw a video about using, instead of using the topical creams and the prescription creams the doctors give you, to put castor oil on your sores. So I was oiling my head down with castor oil, which is very hard to wash out. I mean, have you ever touched castor oil? It almost stands up by itself. It's very thick viscosity. Anyway, it takes like 3 washings to even get it to where you aren't greasy. Anyway, so I was doing that, and then I was using this shampoo that my daughter-in-law gave me that was for psoriasis, and the castor oil would just soothe that to where, oh man, that feels so good. And then I'd use the psoriasis shampoo, and it was like,
The shampoo she's using to get the oil out of her
yeah,
head.
and it was like, like that. Electric. It's like electrocuting my head, and I think, well, that's probably really doing good. It's going to heal it,
And
but
she
it made
says
it
it
sore
tingles
again.
really, really strong. And I said, if it's stinging, the word was
Yeah,
stinging. I said, if it's stinging, it's probably not
not a good
good.
idea.
So I think she's going to quit doing that.
Well, so I was doing this the other day. I mean, it took me a while, Britta. I don't mind real off, you know. Eventually I might, but not right off. Anyway, so I was washing my hands, and it's like, oh, like that. And I'm like, no, this, I can't have this, this is stupid. So I washed it out with real other shampoo. And then I washed it again with the other shampoo, and it quit hurting. I'm like, duh.
Well, I mean, in a way, you can kind of see because as a kid, they put iodine,
Alcohol.
methylate or
Yeah.
iodine on
And you blow it.
that, and it would sting and sting and sting, but it was good for her.
Yeah.
So she was thinking this is going
Yeah.
to be good.
It's a learned
But
thing.
they say it takes months and months for even the carnivore way of eating to heal
Skin.
any skin disorders.
Mm-hmm.
And so how are you with you've been on a little over 30 days. So
Mm-hmm.
how is
Well, see, like
your eczema?
the back of my neck is not,
You have a little bitty spot.
yeah, a little bitty spot. It used to
And
be all the
I
way
don't
up
know
my
if that's
neck.
active or if it's just.
It's got a little itch to it, but it's not bad. But it was all down my neck.
And how about your head?
It's better. I mean, like ever since last week when I washed my hair, it's
Now,
healing. It's
now,
still itches just a little bit, but
Now I know I was talking about her not being able to sleep because of back pain and stuff, but you couldn't sleep because your head hurt so
yeah,
bad. It's
yeah, it's
so
so
bad.
bad.
And she would scratch it. Just like a baby. Sometimes you can't help it. You just
Yeah,
scratch.
I would cut my fingernails all the way down, and I'd still figure out a place where it would scratch. I
Hmm.
could get down to
But she
some
couldn't
and
sleep. She
could not
could
sleep.
not sleep.
And
So
my
now,
husband wasn't getting good sleep either, so
so now you're sleeping.
like a log.
That is awesome. And now you don't take anything other
Mm-mm,
than the vitamin D.
mm-mm. I don't. If my back hurts a little bit or anything, I just take some aspirin and then 2 aspirin. I was taking like handfuls last summer, and I had a really strange occurrence where it sounded like there was a load of locusts in the trees in my ears, and I prayed about, Lord, what's that? And I got the thought aspirin.
Mhm.
So I looked it up, and it said that too much aspirin will cause ringing in the ears.
Now,
So I slowed down on that.
now I have tinnitus. I hear
Mm-hmm.
it all the time. And
Uh-huh.
you described it in your video as the sound of a swarm of locusts. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just what it sounds like. I mean, when you go
Mm-hmm.
camping or something, you hear all
Mm-hmm.
that out in
In the
the
woods and stuff.
yes, and that's what I hear all the time.
You do.
Yeah. I mean, I just thought everybody
Mm-hmm.
that
Had
had
background noise.
everyone that has tinnitus, that's what they hear.
Mm-hmm.
And yours went away from the vitamin D or
No,
from
it was when
the
I quit taking aspirin.
when you quit taking aspirin.
I was
But I don't
taking
take aspirin all the
I
time.
was taking handfuls of aspirin.
But, I mean, I don't take it hardly. I mean, every once in a while, I take one.
Now I did see that there is a thing about tinnitus that Dr. Bailey
Yeah,
has.
they say that this will even
Yeah,
take care of it. It sounds like a miracle
I
cure,
know
but
it might work though.
we just got to give it time. That's what I think. Just give it time. Just like we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about weight loss. You haven't lost a whole lot of weight for 30 days, but you've lost it 13 pounds at
Uh-huh.
least.
Yeah.
That's not that bad.
No.
And I haven't
And
lost that much, but I have other reasons
but
why.
like not it's like not suffering.
Right.
You know.
So the weight loss, although she looks really good. I mean,
Oh,
40 pounds that or 38 pounds. That's a lot.
it's a
And
lot.
you look really, really
Oh,
good. I'm
thank you.
I'm proud of you. The shirts that we made that say Mrs. B and Auntie on them are going to be huge on you now because they were big to begin with. I got her the wrong size. So we'll have to work on either take them up or make new ones, which since I do. So, and she sews too, by the way. Uh,
Before I got really sick, I had made like 9 quilts that year,
yes, you
and then
did.
I didn't do another quilt for 2 years.
That one you made me was your last one, wasn't
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it? I mean, if you only knew. If you only, yeah, we're telling you, but it's like, oh, do you understand?
It is a miracle, though. I feel like it is a
So
miracle.
I
I did.
wanted you on here just basically to tell people how wonderful it's been to change in such a quick time. You don't have to eat this way. I mean, I think we need to eat this way forever, but
Mm-hmm.
didn't take long from the time she
To see
started
difference.
to start noticing the difference.
You know what's funny is my husband said, "There's no way I'm going to do this. I'm not even going to do any part of it. You do your thing. I'll fix my own vegetables and all this other stuff because I just like those
And bread.
and bread." And now he says, "I think I'll do that." I mean, he's been working on it. Of course, he cheats quite a bit,
I've
but
seen, or not literally seen, but her talking to me. I've seen the gradual. Oh, I eat this, and then I gotta have my bread, and then she's making bread, and he's eating that bread,
yeah,
so
I was making that bread you make out of eggs.
which I have not done any of that yet. I've
Yeah.
got to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of like unless you put some of that good salt in it, it tastes like flavorless pancakes. So you have to tweak things just a little.
So you're glad you did it,
Yes.
and you recommend it to
Yes.
anyone.
And I don't see any time soon that I'm going to quit. I mean, I like feeling good.
Yes, I believe that every time we talk, and I talk about I'm not losing weight because I have to remind myself you're doing this for your health, not just the weight. But I do have to remind myself because every once in a while I'm like, well, I want some things. I'm not doing any good. I'm not losing weight. And but she always reminds me
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt.
Yeah. You saved my life.
I
Because
didn't save your
I
life.
didn't know how much longer I could hang on, honestly.
Yeah, there was lots of times I and her husband really, really worried about her.
Yeah.
But there, there is such a difference. I mean, difference is night and day. And
Even my speech pattern.
yes, you see people like this, they can hardly talk. Sometimes that's the way she was, and there was no encouraging her. I mean, I would try to
You
change the
did.
subject to something uplifting, and it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. But now she's just always up. It's just very, very rare that it's a you're on a downward slope.
Yeah.
Very rare. I mean, there are
Mhm.
things that can trigger it
Yeah.
that have nothing to do with the diet.
No.
Or the I hate to call it a diet,
No.
the
It's
lifestyle.
lifestyle.
So I've seen such a difference. You've been around me. Have you seen a difference?
Yes.
What would you say my differences are?
You just seem, you know, like you're happy and you're just like super positive and, you know,
Mhm.
I don't know. It just seems like there's sparkles.
I feel like I feel like the veil has been lifted, from my eyes. I really
I do
do.
see a difference in your weight too, though.
Oh, well,
Yeah, I
thank you,
do.
thank you. But I just thought I walk better, I get around better, but I don't
Yeah.
know if isn't that terrible? I don't know if it's the diet or the taking so much of that gabapentin, and
No.
I had those
It
shots in my
wasn't
back.
that long ago that you were with a pain.
Yeah, I could before the cane, I couldn't walk at all.
Yeah.
Could not walk at all, and I can now. But
You
I
were
did.
fighting a walker.
Oh
That's why
yes,
you went
yes.
to physical
I
therapy.
went 6 months of physical therapy, and then they stopped that, and then I had the shot in my back during when I first started carnivore, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that slowed down my weight loss. But
Mm-hmm.
I stuck with this way of eating.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where I'm saying I
Oh.
don't know if it's that gabapentin keeping that pain away or if it's the diet. But I did miss a gabapentin, and the pain came back. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a different pain. It's that
You have a
nerve
spur,
pain.
don't you?
I
In your.
have spinal stenosis, which
Mm-hmm.
is my best way of explaining it is bone spurs on the inside of the spine
Mm-hmm.
hitting the nerves. So nothing
Yeah.
takes that away. Medicine doesn't take that away.
You can just
Um,
mask it with painkillers.
yeah, that's all. And getting rid of inflammation, which this diet does. So it could be a big part. I get
Mm-hmm.
around so much better.
Mm-hmm.
I have moments that are bad, but
Mm-hmm.
so much better. And
Mm-hmm.
my husband sees a difference in me.
Mm-hmm.
And the weird thing to me about this way of life, uh, I could never stick with the diet.
No, me neither. I mean, I would white knuckle it, but I was always trying to figure out a way to cheat.
Right. You're always limited to something. Then you think, oh, some people talk about what is that one? Weight Watchers.
Yeah.
And my sister-in-law did Weight Watchers, and my brother, and they did wonderful on it. And
Mm-hmm.
she would count her points, and then on the weekend, she had enough points, she'd go get her a big old cheeseburger and a malt and French fries. That was her treat. And I
Yeah.
thought, I could do that.
Yeah.
But you know what? Her health is still bad. And she gained all her weight back. But she
Mm-hmm.
stopped doing it. And so did
Mm-hmm.
he. And they both gained their weight back and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But her health is a lot like yours.
Mm-hmm.
And they go to doctor after doctor after doctor, can't get anything. I mean, they finally started going to holistic doctors and getting some results there, which I
Mm-hmm.
think is a good idea.
Yeah.
And but now she's to a point that she's not getting anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And and she eats keto.
Mm-hmm.
Now they do keto and they've lost weight from that.
Mm-hmm.
But
There's still inflammatory stuff allowed in keto
yes, yes.
that they could probably get more relief.
So when I see that we're getting ready to go down and see them, I know you remember my uncle passed away, and I kept thinking we were going to go to his services. Well, they cremated him, and now his services are not this coming week, but the week after.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be going down there, and maybe I can talk to her then. And
I remember being so embarrassed because in my 20s, or when maybe I was 30, I ran a diet center.
yes, you did, but you were little bitty too.
Yeah, and I got really big too. After I
She
quit.
she went. What were you, a zero?
No, I was a 7 or 8,
It
something
didn't
like
look
that.
like it. She looked like she
But
was a zero. She's skinny, skinny. You also taught swimming, didn't you?
yeah, I was a lifesaver.
A
But
lifeguard.
a lifeguard, yeah.
She's a
I
lifesaver.
just, I mean, as long as I had a hook, I could save them. I couldn't really swim that good.
I thought you were a instructor.
No,
No.
yeah,
You went swimming every day.
yeah, I went swimming. I swam a mile every day. I logged 55 miles with Mikey, my baby, holding on my foot as I did my laps.
Anybody would lose a bunch of weight doing that stuff.
And then later years, I was a counselor with Singular, which
So
I
you lost a lot of weight then
lost a lot
too.
of weight then too. And as soon as I quit, I got it right back. It was all keto and stuff, but I just could not afford all the supplements.
Well,
So then I saw your thing with this ketogenic, no, not keto,
carnivore.
carnivore, and I thought, oh dear, what's this going to cost me? And the guy doesn't even charge nothing, and
Yeah.
there's no supplement.
Yeah, there's no
I'm like, whoa,
no
this
expense.
must be real.
I also, this is how much dieting we did.
Mm-hmm.
Not, this isn't all the dieting. This is one of them. Before she did the Zingular, I I introduced him to Miracle Skinny Drops.
Oh yeah, HCG.
HCG drops.
Yeah, we
And
did that.
they were very successful with it. I was pretty successful.
Yeah, you were.
But you know, the minute you stop, forget it. That was one of the hardest ones to go back on that I remember
We
doing.
still have some drops.
I have 2 bottles.
And Terry go, you want to try the drops this week? Okay. And he goes, I don't really want to do it this week. Let's do it next week. We did that for like a year or two.
And
We
it's
never
not
did it.
bad. It is
No.
not bad as far as once you get on it. You know, it's
Mhm.
500 calories a day. And once you get on it, it's not that bad. You can, I didn't get hungry or anything. The amount I ate was fine, but it's just doing it.
And it's not a lifestyle.
No, that's another thing. It's you get to you hit your goal, and then I know there should be a maintenance, but a lot of people don't do maintenance. Even with this, I'm telling you, if you do not stay on it forever,
there has to be like a
gotta
weaning
watch
period
out.
where
Yes.
you're still accountable.
Yes. Now I'm not saying that after you've got to your goal,
Mhm.
I'm not saying you can't have something once in a while,
I think some
but you
people,
better stay on top of it.
after they lose, a lot of people go down to keto that allows a little bit more
I think the
variety.
Carnivore,
Mhm.
that's a big deal. That's a real
Mhm.
big one. Which I
That allows a little bit of vegetables and a little bit of fruit.
Yeah.
But, you know.
So anyway, they also got on that. They
So
they
it's
lost a lot of
embarrassing
that.
when you go through so many things and then people look at me like, okay, she's going through another deal.
Well, and I can understand why you were skeptical,
Yeah.
because that's what you always hear, no matter what. That it's another one of those things that you're going to lose weight and you're going to gain it right back.
Mhm.
And you know, we could.
Yeah.
But that's why you have to have a different mindset.
Yeah.
And with me, I can't believe I've stuck on it, but it's not hard.
No.
And there is variety if you look for it.
And you can actually be full. You can actually experience the sensation of being full.
Do you know that you were telling me about that bread, and I thought, can't add bread to my food too. I'm already eating.
I know. Well, I have that for Terry because he's just having with girls.
But I think you can have it. But,
I know
but
I
how
can.
wonderful. I say wonderful, but the thought of even a bacon sandwich.
I just like the bacon by itself now.
Well, I do too. I've always liked bacon by itself. It doesn't matter. But I, and there is some kind of an egg mayonnaise.
Oh, really?
You can make your own, and it's carnivore and different things. I haven't got into making sauces or anything like you have, and I should, but I haven't.
I did order some spice that is ranch spice.
Oh yeah,
It has no carbs, no sugar, and it just had. You smell it; it smells just like ranch dressing.
well, I wanted to get in here and let Auntie tell you her story on my little channel, not channel, but my videos, as well as her own. and I think we've kind of covered that. We've covered it with me.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I can't express enough how surprised I am how easy this has been for me. Now, even I know people talk about keto, and I know keto is wonderful, but it was too
There's a
complicated.
lot of figuring in it.
It was just too complicated for me to figure out what I could eat and what I couldn't.
Mhm.
And I wanted new. I always wanted new, different food.
Varieties and
And
things.
I think the other thing was I had my granddaughter living here, and my husband. My husband doesn't like chicken. He doesn't like a lot of stuff. Uh, so it's really hard to figure stuff out. And even today, I still kind of have to cook us separate stuff because
Mhm.
I like chicken. I like more fish than he does, and I like shrimp, and he doesn't. So if I want any variety, we have to have separate meals. That's all there is to it. So, but I
Yeah.
don't have a problem doing it. It's just two of us. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
So staying on it has just surprised me, and my desire to stay on it surprises
Yeah,
me.
me too. I mean, I always thought I would be sneaking something by now.
Well,
Like, you know,
like
candy or whatever.
like I said, I thought about it, but I didn't do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, well, I just wanted to do that not real quick. This has already been almost an hour, so we're going to get off of here, and promise me that you will do updates once a little more
I will.
often than you
Okay.
do because people
Oh,
are interested.
I just didn't know if enough change had happened yet.
Oh yes.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? Even every little change is important. There's
Okay.
somebody out there going through trying to do this and thinking, oh, I can't do this
Okay.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And you may give them encouragement.
Mhm.
I mean,
Okay.
if you have hope, that's
Yeah,
it.
you
That
need to have
she
hope.
keeps telling me the thing about this is there is hope
Yeah,
when you had none before.
I had none. Aside from a radical healing,
Mhm.
that's, and this is like a radical healing.
Mhm. Well, it's God.
Yeah, just,
It is God's way of eating. So
mhm. So
anyway,
call
thank
me
you.
Eve.
Thank you for watching. And if you hadn't met Auntie before, this is Mrs. B and Auntie. Go to our channel, check out our reaction videos and coffee time
Yes.
or coffee with
You
Mrs.
may
B and
learn a
Auntie.
little more about us than you care to know.
Oh yeah, we've got a special one. No,
Oh, we better not tell them
we
about
do have
that.
a special one coming
No.
out. If you're a follower of Mrs. B and Auntie, be on the lookout.
You may think we really flipped our lid.
Yeah, we did something. Like, subscribe, comment below, and share. And tell me things you're interested in hearing about.
And tell your story.
Yeah, we want to know about you.
Keep
Thanks.
watching this girl. She's doing great things.
Love y'all. Bye.